Thank you very much. I do watch a lot of parliamentary television. I come from Ottawa. It's pretty exciting. I don't know, I go down, I watch Question Period, and I think that's a good name for it, Question Period, because there's never any answers. Because these guys, Mulrooney, Turner, they're very evasive, these guys. They know how to skirt around the question. Every time they get a direct question, they know how to evade it. I was wondering if they were always like that, like even in grade school. The teacher be going, Brian, could you tell us what 4 times 2 equals, please? Well, let me say, sir. Let me suggest to you that perhaps that's a question better put to my classmate, John. Where was he, sir? Where was he when we studied subtraction? And a lot of negative things were being said. Where was he? Where was he when we took addition? And the question of 6 and 5 was raised. Where was he when we went through? Where was he when we went through the long division that tore apart this class? When I was in the trenches with the books, sir, where was my honorable classmate? Well, I have explained that I returned to private school for a short time. And, well, now I'm back in public school, and this was a decision my parents made, and I had no option. Now, as far as the question of 4 times 2 goes, well, this is something that perhaps I've not done my homework on. And I confess that, however, I will be weighing all the factors and presenting it in an algebraic framework, and you will have your answer tomorrow. How's that? Meanwhile, Broadbent's at the back of the class going, the answer is 8! But nobody's calling on him, so it doesn't matter, But we live in a good country now. We don't have to look to politics for heroes anymore. We got heroes everywhere. I live in Ottawa, and we got a big Canadian hero there now. His name is Mark Garneau. Mark Garneau. Mark was the first Canadian in space since William Shatner. So that's exciting. I find out now the reason that Mark went up there in the first place was to study motion sickness. Yeah, this makes you feel proud to be a Canadian, Yeah, I can just see the scientists down at NASA going, gee, it wouldn't seem right for an American to throw up in space. Hey, maybe we could get a chimpanzee or something. Hell, what about a Canadian? Look at that. Sure, that's what we'll do. They get him up in the shuttle. Here, Mark, you just drink down this bacon grease. We'll spin you around here a little bit. How you enjoying your adventure now, everybody? But this is a big day for me. It's a big day. I quit smoking today, and I'm pretty happy about that. Thank you. I try. It was hard for me because I smoke ever since I was a kid. I remember one time I was 9 years old. I was behind my garage sneaking a cigarette back there, and my dad caught me. He hauled me in. I thought I was in for the strapping of my life. What he did is he pulled out this big cigar. It must have been half the size of my arm. And he stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it all the way through, right to the end. That's when I started smoking cigars real heavy. I finally quit, though. I went to my doctor, and he showed me a picture of a smoker's lung. And it was really gross and disgusting. Then he showed me a picture of this healthy guy's lung. And it was really gross and disgusting, too, Yeah, I think it's just lungs. That's why they put them on the inside. You don't have to look at them all the time, And I want to know where they got the picture of this healthy guy's lung. You got to figure he's not that healthy anymore, But I tried every gimmick to quit smoking. I did everything. I took one thing that was called aversion therapy. Man, every time I had a cigarette, I had to burn a $10 bill. So I was up to about a $3,500 a week habit there for a while, Then I took acupuncture. An old Chinese man stuck a needle in my ear. Every time I had a craving for a cigarette, I'd throw up, which was pretty embarrassing, especially right after sex. You find it pretty hard to get that second date. I don't know, I guess you should know enough not to smoke. They got warnings right on the side of the package. You know, I'm reading now in Greenland, they've taken even one step further there. What they do there is on the back of the cigarette package, they put on pictures of cancer victims. Right on there, and this is a pretty pessimistic view. You know, it's like a picture of the worst possible scenario. You know, I hope they don't start doing this with other products. Like you walk into a bakery, buy a chocolate cake. Yeah. Picture some fat guy with no teeth on the back of it there, you know, it's like... You know, or maybe you walk into a jewelry store, buy a nice diamond engagement ring for your beautiful fiancée. There's a picture on the back of some old bag with curlers in her hair there. Floppy slippers watching soap operas all day on the back, you know. I know. They're not allowed to advertise for cigarettes, and I think that's a good idea. I don't think they should be allowed to advertise for anything, you know. I don't like these advertisements. I saw this one the other day, you know, for cat food. It was for cat food. I don't know what they want us to believe. At the end of it, it said, all natural food for your cat. All natural food. But cat food's made out of horse meat. Yeah, that's the way it works in nature. The cat right above the horse on the food chain. As a matter of fact, every time my kitty gets a little cooped up in the apartment, I like to take him down to the racetrack, let him stalk some prey. Oh, it's so cute when he comes trotting back with a stallion in his mouth and drops it at my feet there, man. They just released on video cassette, I just got it, the old TV movie The Day After. You ever see that? Very frightening, all about the end of the world, nuclear Armageddon, you know. But there was one thing in that I couldn't understand. Like the day before, the day after, when they find out the missiles are coming and everything, what does everybody in town do? They all run into their supermarkets, try to stock up on supplies for the next day. And I could understand that, but the part I couldn't understand is there were people working. Yeah, that's the way I want to spend my last day of life on Earth. Sacking groceries, that's a good time. Gee, good chance to pick up some overtime here. They say that the day after is too violent for children. Children shouldn't watch it. You know, these sociologists, psychologists, I don't know who they are. They're afraid everything's too violent for the kids. They're afraid the children will copy what they see on the screen before them. You know? Even cartoons. I was reading this one case about this kid from Arkansas. What happened was he watched a particularly violent episode of the Roadrunner Coyote Show. And the next day they found him in the bottom of a canyon, 2 giant springs strapped to his feet. And near the scene of the crime, they found a little umbrella. Sign said, "Yikes." And now his parents are suing the Acme company. It's a terrible story. Well, you guys have been a great crowd. That's it for me. Enjoy the rest.